Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today we're going to be talking about all the books coming out in September. So, it is 30 degrees, or probably 32 degrees in the UK right now, like the 2 days of sun. I probably didn't need to film this today because like you're only seeing this in August anyway, but I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to chat to you today, so if I'm gross and sweaty, I'm sorry. Today we're going to be talking about all the books coming out in September. These are debuts, new releases by old authors, probably no sequels, and a lot of diverse books, so anything you might want. Hopefully you'll have here. So we have 8 books. These are books I'm most excited about, but hopefully I'll get you excited about them as well. So for over a year now, I've been telling you what books are coming out and you've been telling me which ones you want me to review. So let me know in the comments which one of these sounds most exciting. Vote in the Twitter poll, do whatever you want to do. Just let me know because who knows, I'll probably review it. Although I have a very exciting book that I know I will review for this month, but I think I want to do 2 reviews, so let me know which other book I should review. Okay, without further ado, I think we're just gonna jump into it. The first book I'm excited about coming out is Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Kurian. So this one's coming out on September 7th and it's an adult thriller, and this is the synopsis. Meet Chloe Severo. She's a freshman honor student, a leggings wearing hot girl next door who also happens to be a psychopath. Her hobbies include yogalettes, frat parties, and plotting to kill Will Beckman, a childhood friend who grievously wronged her. Chloe is one of the 7 students at her DC-based college who are part of an unusual clinical study for psychopaths. Students like herself who lack empathy and can't comprehend emotions like fear or guilt. This study, led by a renowned psychologist, requires them to wear smart watches that track their moods and movement. When one of the students in the study is found murdered in a psychology building, a dangerous game of cat and mouse begins, and Chloe goes from hunter to prey. As she races to identify the killer and put down her plan into action, she'll be forced to decide if she can trust any of her fellow psychopaths. And everybody knows you should never trust a psychopath. So the books I'm telling you in release order, so don't judge my excitedness by that. But this one sounds kind of interesting. I feel like this is a tricky one. It can go either of 2 ways. And one of these ways could be very offensive and really problematic. So, you know, keeping it optimistic but not making any judgments until I actually can read it myself or listen to reviews by people who actually deal with this or something that know and a little bit more than me. The next book is Major Detours by Zachary Sergi. Also coming out on September 7th. This is something I've noticed that books always come, like there's about 5 books every month that come on the exact same dates. Yeah, so this one is a YA contemporary fantasy with LGBTQ+ characters. So I remember what appealed to me about this one. This is a choose your own adventure book. So basically it's one of those, you know how Netflix did Bandersnatch, I think it was called? It's kind of like choose your own adventure because you can choose which episode you want to follow based on the decisions that you make. And I think that this is trying to do that. I don't really understand how that would work. I mean, maybe it could be like, oh, if she makes this decision, go to chapter 12, and if she makes this decision, go to chapter 14. I'm not sure, but I'm sure as hell am fascinated, so I think it sounds quite fun. So yeah, this one is a choose your path forward in this mystical interactive YA about the power of friendship, self-discovery, and tarot. It's the summer before college, and 4 best friends, Amelia, Chase, Cleo, and Logan, are on the first leg of their road trip, inspired by a new tarot game that Amelia inherited from her grandmother. However, their trip full of visiting occult shops, bonding and sightseeing takes a major detour as the friends discovered that their tarot deck is more valuable and coveted than they could have ever imagined. As the friends race to finish this mystical scavenger hunt across the West Coast and uncover the mysteries of the tarot deck, it is you who will decide where to go next and how the story will end. With 4 possible final and romantic endings, you will get to make actual choices to further the friends' road trip in this unique interactive novel. Will you uncover the mysteries of the tarot deck and legacy left behind? Will you help Amelia and Chase learn and grow? And will you unravel the secrets these friends keep from each other and from themselves? Sounds very unique. I mean, it's definitely different. I feel like maybe it'd be fun to do like a whole video where I follow along and you guys can follow along with me. Don't know, but it's most certainly a fascinating concept, and I thought, I've never heard of this, so maybe you haven't either, so there you go. You can check it out yourself now. So the next book is The Bones of Ruin by Sarah Ruffley. So this one also coming out on September 7th, and it's a historical YA fantasy. And it says, as an African tightrope dancer in Victorian London, Iris is used to being strange. She is certainly a strange sight for leering British audiences always eager for the spectacle of colonial curiosity. But Iris also has a secret that even strange doesn't capture. She cannot die. Haunted by her unnatural power and with no memories of her past, Iris is obsessed with discovering who she is. But that mission gets more complicated when she meets the dark and alluring Adam Temple, a member of a mysterious order called the Enlightenment Committee. Adam seems to know much more about her than he lets on, and he shares with her a terrifying revelation. The world is ending, and the committee will decide who lives and who doesn't. To help them choose a leader for the upcoming apocalypse, the committee is holding tournaments of freaks, a macabre competition made up of vicious fighters with fantastical abilities. Adam wants Iris to be his champion, and in return he promises her the only thing she wants most, the truth about who she really is. If Iris wants to learn about her shadowy past, she has no choice but to fight. But the further she gets in the grisly tournament, the more she begins to remember, and the more she wonders if the truth is something best left forgotten. It sounds very fun, I don't know, completely weird and different, love a good apocalypse, it can be done very well, is it always? The next book is something that I'm super excited about. So this one is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. So this one's coming out on September 14th, and it's a YA horror pitched as The Haunting of Hill House meets Get Out. First of all, I love Tiffany D. Jackson. I've read Grown by her, which was an amazing contemporary, just absolutely breathtaking, and I want to read her other books as well. And this one seems like completely different than what she's ever written before, but also fascinating. And there's been a lot of books kind of pitched as Get Out, and so far I've not been wronged by any of them, so I'm hoping this one will be good as well. But this is the synopsis. Marigold is running from ghosts. The phantoms of her old life keep haunting her, but a move with her newly blended family from their small California beach town to the embattled Midwestern city of Cedarville might be the fresh start she needs. Her mom has accepted a new job with the Sterling Foundation that comes with a free house, one that Mari now has to share with her bratty 10-year-old stepsister Piper. The renovated picture-perfect home on Maple Street, sitting between dilapidated houses surrounded by wary neighbors, has its secrets. That's only half the problem. Household items vanish, doors open on their own, lights turn off, shadows walk past rooms, voices can be heard in the walls, and there's a foul smell seeping through the vents, only Mari seems to notice. Piper keeps talking about a friend who wants Mari gone, but running from ghosts is just a metaphor, right? As the house closes in, Mari learns that the danger isn't limited to Maple Street. Cedarville has its secrets too. And secrets always find their way through the cracks. Sounds so good, doesn't it? I think it sounds very fascinating, really creepy. Just probably going to be grim, but we can do this. Okay, the next book is The Girls Are Never Gone by Sarah Glenn Marsh. Oops, this one's coming out September 7th as well, so I should have gone before, but oh well. So this one's a horror YA with LGBTQ+ characters, and it's pitched as The Conjuring meets Sadie. So we do love a good, I'm kind of sensing a podcast, you know, because it's Sadie. This is the synopsis. Bear Chase doesn't believe in ghosts. Privately, she's a supernatural skeptic. But publicly, she's keeping her doubts to herself, because she's the voice of Attachments, her brand new paranormal investigation podcast, and she needs her ghost-loving listeners to tune in. That's what brings her to Arrington Estate. 30 years ago, teenager Athleen Bell drowned in Arrington's Lake, and legend says her spirit haunts the estate. There's more interested in the suspicious circumstances surrounding her death, circumstances that she believes point to a living culprit, not the supernatural. Still, she's vowed to keep an open mind as she investigates, even if she's pretty sure what she'll find. But Arrington is full of surprises. Good ones like Quinn, the cute daughter of the house's new owner, and baffling ones like the threatening messages left scrawled in paint on Quinn's walls, the ghastly face that appears behind their own mirror, and the unnatural current that nearly drowns their friend Holly in the lake. As Dare is drawn deeper into the mysteries of Arrington, she'll have to rethink the boundaries of what is possible, because if something is lurking in the lake, it might not be willing to let her go. Yeah, so that one's very, very fun. Love a good podcast, and probably will pick it up as an audiobook when it comes out on script, so that'll be very exciting. Okay, everyone, calm down, calm down. The next one is too exciting. The next book is Iron Widow by Ziran Jai Zhao, and I got an arc! Wasn't I just complaining about how I never get arcs? Oh, yes, I got an arc. I got an arc from NetGalley, and I will read this and review this for sure. I'm thinking my review is going to come out around the release date as well, so that's super exciting. I'm just so excited. Okay, so let me tell you what this one is about. So it's coming out on September 21st, and it's a YA sci-fi / fantasy novel, and it has LGBTQ+ characters. And the author, I'm pretty sure they go by they pronouns, but the author is a YouTuber as well, and they make videos about like movies and then the Chinese representation in the movies. So for example, they did one on Mulan and I think Avatar, and kind of pointed out all the references to Chinese and inspirations to Chinese culture and stuff. And I love their videos. They're so funny and just like so talented in that sense. Like their videos are absolute fire. Like the way they made the first video and just like completely just blew up. It was amazing. But now that they've written the book, I've been excited for ever, and I just like requested not NetGalley, thinking no in hell am I gonna get it. I have terrible ratio, like 40% or something. It's not even 50. I was like, no way am I gonna get it, but I did, and I'm so bloody excited. You have absolutely no clue. This is what the book's about. The boys of Huxia dream of pairing up with girl pilots Chrysalis, giant transforming robots that can battle the mecha aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. It doesn't matter that the girls often die from the mental strain. When 18-year-old Zitian offers herself up as a concubine pilot, it's to assassinate the ace male pilot responsible for her sister's death. But she gets her vengeance in a way nobody expected. She kills him through the psychic link between pilots and emerges from the cockpit unscathed. She is labeled an Iron Widow, a much feared and much silenced kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up Chrysalis instead. To tame her unnerving yet valuable mental strength, she is paired up with Li Shiming, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Huxia. But now that Zitian has had a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage their combined might and infamy to survive attempt after attempt on her life, until she can figure out exactly why the pilot system works in its misogynist way and stop more girls from being sacrificed. How amazing does that sound? I think it sounds absolutely out of this world. And the author just posted on Twitter that there's going to be a poly relationship, and we love that. You know when you have two good love interests and they always have to battle it out, and you're like, you know, why don't you all just make up and make out? And they will! And there was like some fan art, or like, I don't know, fan art or whatever, just art. Boy oh boy, when I tell you that is pretty good. Pretty good. Also, just the fact that we're taking on the patriarchy and misogyny, I just love that. Okay, the next book is Under the Whispering Doors by TJ Klune. So this book is coming out September 21st, and it's adult fantasy with LGBTQ+ characters. And I actually read another book by this author called House in the Cerulean Sea, and that was a brilliant book, and I loved it so much. And it was just such a good message. The way it was written was lovely, and it's kind of like a middle grade but for adults. It was gorgeous, and just the messages of it as well were so good. So I'm super excited with whatever the author comes out with. And this is the synopsis. When a Reaper comes to collect Wallace Price from his own funeral, Wallace suspects he really might be dead. Instead of leading him directly to the afterlife, the Reaper takes him to a small village. On the outskirts of the path through the woods, tucked between mountains, is a particular tea shop, run by a man named Hugo. Hugo is a tea shop's owner to locals, and the ferryman to souls who need to cross over. But Wallace isn't ready to abandon the life he barely lived. With Hugo's help, he finally starts to learn about all the things he missed in life. When the manager, a curious and powerful being, arrives at the tea shop and gives Wallace 1 week to cross over, Wallace sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. I feel like I'm gonna end up crying, that's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I'm gonna end up sobbing like a little baby, and it's gonna be grim. And the 8th and the last book I'm excited about is Beasts of Prey by Ayanna Gray. So this one is coming out on September 28th, and it's a YA fantasy, and I really like the title because it reminds me of Birds of Prey, the movie, which I've not even seen, but I thought it sounded cool. And then also, I don't know, it just sounds interesting, you know? Like quite feminist. I don't know, for some reason it does. So this is what it's about. Magic doesn't exist in the broken city of Locosa anymore, especially for girls like 16-year-old Coffee. Indentured to the notorious Night Zoo, she cares for its fearsome and magical creatures to pay off her family's debts and secure their eventual freedom.
You're a singer! No, I work at Madame Carp's penitentiary. Dress emporium.
Erica, is that you? But the night her loved one's own safety is threatened by the zoo's cruel master, Coffee unleashes a power she doesn't fully understand, and the consequences are dire. As the second son of a decorated hero, Ikon is all but destined to become a son of the Sixth, an elite warrior and uphold a family legacy. But on the night of his final rite of passage, a fire upends his plans. In its midst, Ikon not only encounters the Shetani, a vicious monster that has plagued the city and his nightmares for nearly a century, a curious girl who seems to have the power to ward off the beast. Coffee's power ultimately saves Ikon's life, but his choice to let her flee dooms his hopes of becoming a warrior. Desperate to redeem himself, Ikon vows to hunt the Shetani down and end its reign of terror, but he can't do it alone. Meanwhile, Coffee believes finding the Shetani and selling it for profit could be the key to solving her own problems. Coffee and Ikon, each keeping their true motives secrets from the other, form a tentative alliance and enter into the unknowns of the greater jungle, a world steeped in wild magic and untold dangers. The hunt begins, but it quickly becomes unclear whether they are the hunters or the hunted. Sounds very fun. Sounds really dangerous. I love it when the woman is the one that's like after the money. No other whatsoever, just need the money. I really like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. These are 8 books that I'm most excited about. Again, please let me know in the comments which ones you'd like me to read and review. Besides Iron Widow, which I'm gonna be reviewing anyway. I'm just so happy with the arc. Oh, so happy. I really hope I like it, because that'd be disappointment of the year. If I don't end up liking it, this is literally gonna be the most disappointing book I've read. Let me know in the comments if there are other books that you're excited about coming out in September. I can't believe summer's almost over, but at the same time, we still got some time, and hopefully the weather is lovely where you are. September is a big month for me, so I'm very excited actually. If you enjoyed the video, if you comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!